Unit 4, the new covenant between God and his people. So Jeremiah gave us 3 great promises. These are that the people will return to the land that God had promised them. Number 2, that there's going to be a king who's going to come to Israel that is from the line of David. And then we have another promise that says that there's going to be this new covenant, this brand new covenant that will be put in place, and that is going to replace the Mosaic covenant. So that's what we got from Jeremiah. And now we're going to see how Ezekiel is going to expand. He's going to elaborate more. And we see how this begins in chapter 36, verse 24, where it says, God speaks to Ezekiel, to the people. It says, for I will take you from among the nations and gather you out of all countries and bring you into your own land upon the willows in the midst of it. Then I will sprinkle clean water on you, and you shall be clean. I will cleanse you from all your filthiness and from all your idols. Then I will give you a new heart, and I will put a new spirit within you. I will take the heart of stone out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you will keep my judgments and do them. Then you shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers. You shall be my people, and I will be your God. Wow, so much in those few verses from Ezekiel. Let's see if we can break it down a little bit, what he gives us. So he gives us 5 promises in this short passage, but they are key and they're really important. I don't want to miss them. The first one is he reconfirms what Jeremiah had told us. They will return to the land. So God confirms what was said to Jeremiah to Ezekiel, that they will indeed return to the land because they are in exile out of their land right now. The second one, though, is that he will cleanse and he will forgive them of their sin. And it goes on in promise number 3, where it says he will give them a new heart and a new spirit. And then it goes on even from there, and it says that he will place his own spirit in them. Now, this is new language. In fact, this kind of sounds like New Testament language, and we're going to see how the New Testament now is going to elaborate and going to show even more about the new covenant than what we get from Jeremiah and Ezekiel. But these are 4 of the 5 promises that Ezekiel gives us, that they're going to return to the land, and he's going to cleanse and forgive. He's going to give them a new heart, and he's going to give his own spirit. And then number 5, we actually haven't read yet, but number 5 is that he will reunite Israel. So no longer is Israel and Judah going to be separate. They're going to be one nation again. And we see this right after in the very next chapter in verse 37, or chapter 37, in verse 11, which says, now this is the famous dry bones prophecy that Ezekiel is known for, but the heart of it is that God is going to bring the nation back together. Look what he says. Then he said to me, son of man. So this is Ezekiel saying, God spoke to him, saying, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. And they indeed say, our bones are dry, our hope is lost, and we ourselves are cut off. So he uses this image, this picture of the bones kind of talking to represent where the people are at, that they don't have any hope, they don't have any nation. All of their promises were tied to a land that they are not in right now. But here's where Ezekiel steps in and says, no, the whole house of Israel, God is saying that the whole nation is going to be reunited. In the next verse, he says, therefore prophesy, say to them, thus says the Lord, behold, O my people, I will open up your graves and cause you to come up from your graves, and I will bring you into the land of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and I have brought you up from your graves. I will put my spirit in you, and you shall live. And I will place you in your own land. Then you shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken it and performed it, says the Lord. Wow, so much good stuff in this passage, looking forward to the future and to what God has for his people. So let's back up. So Jeremiah gave us these promises. They're going to return to the land. There's going to be a king from the line of David, and that there's going to be a new covenant. Ezekiel now expands on this. He confirms the return to the land, but he now says that this new covenant is going to entail a cleansing and a forgiveness of their sin, a new heart and a new spirit. Indeed, his own spirit is going to be put in them, and there's going to be a reunited Israel. So much that we just covered. So let's see, how can we summarize the new covenant? Simple. Number 1, the new covenant includes physical restoration of the nation of Israel. So they will be reunited with the land. So that's the first main idea. The second one is a spiritual restoration of the nation of Israel. And here they will be reunited with the Lord. So now the relationship is going to be restored based on this new covenant, which is awesome stuff. However, it doesn't stop there, because what we're going to soon learn is that this new covenant that God gives with the reunited house of Israel is going to be extended beyond the house of Israel to all the peoples of the earth. And then we're going to see that this new covenant itself is going to be the fulfillment of the Abrahamic covenant, which, if we think back all the way back to the Abrahamic covenant, the very first covenant, God said, I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and I will make your name great. You shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And then it ends by saying, in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. And so we'll see how this new covenant actually becomes the fulfillment of the Abrahamic covenant, and it replaces the Mosaic covenant. But we're not there yet. So we're going to pause here on the new covenant and on all that Jeremiah and now Ezekiel have shown us about it. And we're going to turn our attention to our fourth and last major prophet, and that is Daniel. But we need to start first with understanding the context. So in our next unit, what we want to do is we want to start looking at Daniel by understanding the context. So join me, if you would, in Unit 5 for the context of Daniel.